Hey guys, Stuart from shopnomads.com coming at you with another product video. Today I want to talk to you guys about the difference in longboards. There's a lot of different technology in them and it's kind of overwhelming, so I'm going to try and break it down for you in a nice, concise, easy to understand manner. So first we're going to start talking about shapes of boards and then we'll transition to other aspects. So there's a bunch of different shapes of longboards. So this guy is the Landyachtz Super Chief, okay? This board, so if you look at it, it looks kind of like a surfboard. This is what we would call a pintail shaped board. So pintail shaped boards are your pretty standard longboard. They're the kind of board that you're gonna get if you're cruising around and you wanna feel like you're surfing on the land, okay? They are fairly simplistic, nothing super technical going on with them, but they're a very good intro board, okay? The one thing with pintail shaped boards is they are often a little higher off the ground, which does make them a little less stable when you're first starting to learn. However, if you really want that, like, I feel like I'm surfing on land vibe that you get from longboarding, this is definitely the way to go. Next, I'm going to show you guys another cruise board. So this is a different style of cruise board. So this guy, as you can see, is substantially longer, okay? This is what we would call a dance style cruise board. So dance boards are traditionally longer. They always have that curved up tip and tail so that you can kick them into different styles of tricks and stuff like that. And so this guy actually, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it has this really cool feature where the wood is actually cut out inside of the board there, and you can actually see that through the board. So this guy is called the Landyachtz HT Stratus dance board. So very nice cruise board. It's way longer, so you can do those tricks. And so this would be what we call a dance board. Now, if we start going into more technical boards, we're going to take a look at this Landyachtz Evo. So this is the Landyachtz Evo. This is a traditional drop-shaped deck board. So when we start talking about drop-shaped deck boards, we're talking about the shape of the deck. So as you can see, this one isn't just a flat-mounted board. It's actually dropped down. What that does is it brings you lower to the ground and also gives you little pockets for your feet to stand in. You'll see that there's also concave in the board shape of this board to really hold you on there. This is what we call a performance board. This one specifically is designed for speed. Okay, so this guy would be for ripping down hills, that sort of stuff. It has a really wide wheelbase. It's going to be super, super stable. So this is what we call a downhill race board. Okay, again, any longboard will work for that cruise style if that's what you're into. And the benefit of a drop deck board is that with them being lower, they are a little more stable for your beginners and when you're first starting out as well. They give good torsional control, so you have better control when steering, especially at those high speeds. And with it being lower, the concave, the drop down and all that stuff, you're gonna be like sucked onto the board, so you'll be a lot more stable when riding. Okay, so that's one of our first performance style longboards. Our next performance style longboard is what we call a drop through mounted truck board. So as you can see, instead of the board being mounted on top of the trucks, it's actually mounted on the bottom of the trucks and they go through the deck. Okay, so what that means is a top mounted board, you have just a little less torsional control, whereas on the bottom mount boards, because of that, when you put force to turn, there's more force that goes in it, so they turn quicker, okay? So they turn quicker. That's the important thing to remember. Specifically with this guy, this is the Landyachtz Switchblade. This guy's the 40 version. We do have some 36s. This is what we would call a sliding board. So it's designed to rip around corners. The wheels are a little bit of a different shape as well. I'll get more into detail with that, but these have rounded wheels, so they slide a little bit better. And again, it still does have some of that deck shape with the concaves to hold you onto the deck, suck you in. It'll be lower to the ground, so it'll be a little bit more stable. So this is a really great option for your performance boards if you're looking for something that you want to have like quick turning, less of a turning radius, if you want to start kicking into slides, that sort of stuff. This is a great option for that. Again, any longboard can be used for cruising, but this guy's a little bit more performance heavy, has quicker turn radius. It's a little bit zippier if you want to be weaving in and out of people if you're riding down a boardwalk or something like that. So this is a great option for that. So this is the Landyachtz Switchblade 40. So those are kind of our performance boards. And then we start looking at things like this. So this is still technically a longboard. This is what we would call a cruise board. So cruise boards are essentially, if you take a skateboard and a longboard and they had a child, you would get a cruise board. So a cruise board often has a smaller wheelbase with smaller trucks, still larger wheels. So these are still longboard wheels, not quite skate wheels. It has a tail on one side, but overall is still a pintail shaped board. This guy is substantially smaller, okay? This guy is the Landyachtz Dougie. It's a 31.5 inch wheelbase instead of your 40, 45, 60 sort of wheelbases, okay, which you would find on your larger board. So it's a little smaller. This is a great transport board. So this is the type of board you want to be riding if you're going to and from school. It'll feel a little bit more like a skateboard if you're transitioning from skateboarding into longboarding. It has a tail still, so you can still do tricks and stuff on it. It'll be easier to kick this into ollies and tricks and stuff like that versus one of the bigger boards if you're transitioning from skateboarding. But it'll still have that surf vibe feel when riding it. So this is what we call a cruise board, and this is the Landyachtz Dougie. Okay. Now, when we're talking about longboards, we have the board shapes, which I went over, but we also have two different styles of trucks, okay, and then a couple different styles of wheels. So in trucks, you have your traditional shaped truck, okay, which is very much just like this. It's a little bit wider than a skateboard truck, and it's designed to hold a little bit of a bigger wheelbase. Okay, essentially all this is a standard truck. In longboards, they're wider, they hold a bigger wheelbase, and then your bushings, which is the plastic part that acts like a spring when you're turning, are traditionally a little softer to give you more of a turn radius to it. Okay. But then we also have something that we call gull wing trucks. So these are the gull wing Sidewinder 2s, okay? And what these guys have is they're actually double stacked bushings. What that does is when you're adding force to it, these have a lot more of a turn radius to it. They will take your longboard deck a little higher off, but when you turn, you'll be able to get a really sharp turn out of them. And a very steep angle of turn, which adds even further into that feel of surfing. So in surfing, when you're on the water, you don't have a specific angle that you stop at, right? You can turn really, really sharp in the water because you don't have the ground to worry about. Essentially, what gull wing trucks do is allow you to have that steep turn and really lean back into that board. So it really adds to that feel of surfing. Okay, so that's what a gull wing truck is. Now, any truck can work on any of the longboards, provided that there isn't something called wheel bite. If you have questions about that, talk to one of our staff. We can definitely help you out with that. But essentially, your standard trucks allow any longboard to do what they're doing. Most of these longboards come with standard trucks on them. Gull wing trucks give you a little bit more of a steeper angle so you can really carry through those turns and feel more like you're surfing on land. Now, that's trucks in a nutshell. In wheels, we have two main styles of wheels, okay? So as I was saying, on the Switchblade 40 there that I showed you, it had what we called rounded over wheels. So what rounded over wheels do is they're shaped more like a skate wheel, and they actually have a rounded side profile to them. And what that allows is when you're riding, they're less likely to catch on the pavement or ground when you're sliding, okay? So they're often those rounded wheels you'll find on sliding boards or performance boards or skateboards or anything like that, because you can kick those out without them catching. But your flat wheels, which is like this, so these guys don't have the rounded surface, these guys are flat, they have better grip and control. So they have better traction when you're going around corners, and they're less likely to kick out. So you'll find wheels like this on things like your Evo, like downhill slalom racer, on a lot of your cruise boards and a lot of your pintail shaped boards. Now, pintail shaped boards, because they're more that surf vibe style, they'll have a variety of either rounded over wheels or your flat wheels, because they don't have a need for it. So it's based more off the look, the style, and the color. But when it comes into your performance boards, if you're looking at sliding and stuff, you definitely want a rounded over wheel. If you're looking at downhill racing, or you want some good traction, or you want to bomb your local hill, or you have a hill on the way to school and you don't want to accidentally slip out and fall, whatever, you want your flat faced wheel. Okay, so that's longboards in a nutshell. We went over different types of board shapes, different types of trucks and wheels. There's a lot more science into it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to us online at shopnomads.com or call us. I'll have the numbers listed on our website, which is linked below. We can answer any of your questions. All of our staff are well trained and know what they're talking about. So if you have any questions about longboards, definitely reach out to us. We can help you work it out. But I hope that helped answer some of your basic questions about longboards. And all of the boards that you saw in today's video are featured online at our website at shopnomads.com. Check them out. Bye.
Been friends since 1995. Growing up, same street, you, me,